I mean, sometimes things just come together. Little did I know that one of my guests on the show is celiac. One of my volunteers is celiac. So when they looked at the table that I have in front of me right now and went, none of that? It has gluten in it? All of it's gluten-free? I went, absolutely. Because Miriam Pearl is back. She is the founder and recipe developer at Delicious Without Gluten. Welcome back. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Isn't that a nice sign, though, right?
I know.
Like two people in the room go, oh, my goodness, all of this is gluten-free, right? And I mean, we've talked about your story before, but again, you have family members, and this is why you decided, you know what, things on the market, they taste like sand, and I'm going to change all that, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the inspiration. But today we're talking holiday baking,
That's right.
and it's a really difficult time for people that have gluten intolerance or are celiacs because they feel that they can't enjoy everything like the rest of us.
I know. But I did a little poll. I went on Facebook and I said, hey guys, what do you wish you had? What would you like to learn? What would you like? And everybody was like, puff pastry.
I'm not surprised, right? Because people don't think that the alternatives can get you exactly that texture, right? I mean,
know.
puff pastry's all about that texture, right?
It is, but it's not like we can't do it. It's just that it's not readily available in the grocery store.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to get, and people shy away. People are very nervous to do this kind of thing at home. And I wanted to show how, of course, as usual, how easy this is.
All right, well, let's do it.
Let's get in the kitchen.
Okay.
So today, of course, I do dairy-free, but I want to encourage people, if they want to eat dairy, that they can use butter.
Okay.
I have tried several things. This actual plant-based margarine is solid enough for this type of work.
Okay.
So there are soft margarines on the market, and there are some shortenings, but they're soft.
Right,
and a lot of water
because
content.
you need kind of that in between, right? What do you want? Room temperature? Is that the
No, you want it as cold as possible.
As cold as
Yes,
possible.
in fact, usually if you're going to grate this, you'll grate the pieces of the margarine or the butter with a grater, like a large grater, so that it would be like a cheese, you know? But we're going to find an easier way. It's funny, I actually
what are you looking for?
Forgot the butter. It's in my bag there. But you know what?
Oh.
What I'm going to do
Sherry,
is...
grab the bag. Which bag is it? We can do this. Don't worry.
I am not sure. So what we're going to do...
That's okay. Sherry's looking for it.
She's looking for it. So what I did actually, thank goodness, I took 2 sticks of butter straight from here. Okay, that's the margarine. And basically, I cut it in cubes.
Right.
Very easy to do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that so that I would skip some of this work because it's very long. You have to do it when it's cold, and a lot of things can happen on TV with lights and everything else.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what I did is I chopped them up in little cubes like this.
Yeah.
And you can do, like I said, if you want, you can grate it.
Yeah.
But it's simple. It's all-purpose flour. I sell like a gluten-free all-purpose flour, and it's 300 grams of the flour and then 2 sticks of butter with a teaspoon of salt. That's the entire thing.
That's it. That's all the ingredients.
To that, though, water is an ingredient.
Right.
And so what you want to do is you want to wet with about 3/4 cups of water. And that's exactly for the purposes to get everything bound together. And you don't really want to touch the cubes. You just want to keep the water moist until it all gathers together. Okay. So you have to go slowly. I'm actually not going slowly because I'll be here all day. But basically what you're going to do is just gather everything. You're going to do it just until it gathers. Okay. And then you get this big...
So it's not a real big mixing process here. You want to make sure you keep some of those clumps. Okay.
What normally I would do is I would turn this over onto the table and just clump it up together. Okay. And then I would put it in a square. Okay. Now this is really easy. Actually, during the break, I'll just put that there. Yeah. I would normally just put it on there, and I just put one in the fridge before I came. Yeah. To make sure that it's nice and cool, so that it could be pliable. Okay. So you can still see the butter pieces. I don't know if you can still see that, but you have butter pieces in there, and this has not been done anything. It's just a block, okay? Gotcha. So what we have to do is take a little bit of flour And I should take another pair of gloves. And then on top over here, and I'll grab the gloves over here. And then we're just going to use a rolling pin, and then I'm going to show you there's different kinds of folds.
Okay.
And you fold it 4 times, and then your puff pastry is ready. I wouldn't use it at all to, what do you call it? To use right away, because you want it to be very cold.
Okay.
Now, I already froze this morning, so it's a little bit too cold. It's live TV.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Don't worry about it. We understand.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how it works. So I made these little diagrams. And the first thing is you're going to do a 3-fold. And I did that because I wasn't sure the puff pastry was going to be too soft or too cold. And now it's too
We're not
cold.
exactly in the perfect...
no, I had to freeze it first.
Exactly.
So
not the perfect environment for puff pastry, friends.
You're taking a piece of pastry dough, and you're just working it, and you're folding it in 3.
Okay.
And then fold again, and then you fold it in 3 again. The same way, but this way and that way. Or you can do it in 4s. It's kind of silly that I can't show you, but I'm going to try again.
No,
and you can do it in 4 as well.
Yeah.
It's called a book fold when you do 4, 1 in, 1 out.
Right.
And basically you just keep doing it. Everything is so salvageable. So you can keep going until your dough is
nice and flat, right? You want
nice and flat.
Okay.
I already took some flat pieces so that we can show you all the things that you can make with this. You have to, I don't want to pound it because it's on top of the stove here. So I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to do is put that aside.
Yeah.
I already made some flat pieces in case this happened because I wasn't sure if it was
you're
going
a
to be.
professional when it comes to television.
I'm telling you.
It's
so
true.
I already put one out.
Okay.
Flat. And basically what you do is we're going to make different things.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's pause for a moment because we have another segment with you.
Yes.
Okay? We are going to take a very short break here. We'll be back with Miriam Pearl from Delicious Without Gluten. By the way, deliciouswithout.com is where you can find her online and, of course, on social media as well. But we'll be back to continue this conversation in just a moment. Welcome back to the show. We are back with Miriam Pearl, founder and recipe developer at Delicious Without Gluten, and she's furiously working away here because she wants to show everybody at home some of these great pastry ideas. So you're doing like a bit of a pizza kind of roll here right now, right?
Yeah, I want to get started because the time just passes us by.
It's because we're having too much fun together, Miriam.
I know. We have some pizza sauce, and I just put some pizza sauce on the bottom of a square sheet or a rectangular, and I put some cheese on top. You can stick any kind of pepperoni, whatever you want to do. And then you just roll it up like a cinnamon bun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then you can just cut them up.
Oh, this is like a great hors d'oeuvre idea.
It is.
Right? Like
and
everybody would love those.
There you go. And that's what I did. I sort of drizzled on top some little tomato and sun-dried tomatoes and olives.
So that's the finished product right here, everybody. Some olives on there. It looks great.
So this one over here is, so I put apples in there, and I put apples in here as well.
Yeah.
And this is just a chunk of apples, and I took a strip, and I wrapped it around the apple.
How easy is that?
And this one is really easy. So with puff pastry, you always need some egg wash on top. So you would egg wash this after.
Right.
And then
that helps get it that sort of golden
brown,
color?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's what that's all about. And then when you do these over here, they're super easy.
Those are beautiful.
You take one smaller cutter. You have like a cutter.
Okay, you got a large and a small.
You cut a large one and one inside.
Yeah.
And then you just make one on top of the other, and then you put them in the oven exactly like this. It's 15 minutes at 400 degrees.
Wow, that's
and
fast.
That's it. It just puffs up. Just
and
like
it
that.
puffs up that much,
Exactly.
And then you just, what did you add in here? A little bit of apple inside and then some fruit on top?
Actually, that one is with a lemon curd inside.
Oh, nice.
With some with some raspberries and blueberries.
Okay.
Another one you can do if you want, there's the sticks.
Yeah.
So the sticks are really easy. Again, you can put in, let's say I have some crushed garlic, some parsley on top. So you want all this texture here.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what you do is you stick it all on this side, you fold it like this, and again, you cut little strips, and then you just twist.
And then put it in the oven again, same thing.
You put it inside with the egg wash, and you put it in for 15, 20 minutes until
I'm telling you,
brown.
Sherry, who's celiac, who's coming up on the show after you. I've never seen a guest so excited before watching a kitchen segment off to the side. Awesome.
Another one you can do is just when you're making your little pies, for example, you can stick them in the freezer like this.
Oh, okay.
And so it's easy when company's coming, it's already done.
Right.
You thaw it out and you stick it in the oven, you put your egg wash on, and that's it.
Love it.
So
and you got little wieners here, right?
Yeah,
the little wiener wrap, which a lot of people do.
Those you have to do with a little bit of a rectangle, like you would for a croissant. You take a little hot dog, and then voila.
Look at that. Hey?
Yeah, and then you shake on some sprinkles, some sesame seeds, and then it's
for the savory.
For the same, exactly.
We got to talk about these because these look absolutely spectacular. What are you using? So is this your all? Oh, this is a bread mix this time.
So this was all-purpose flour.
Right.
This is just a bread mix.
Okay.
So we make our bread with it. What you do is I have a recipe that I'll put on my website soon. It is basically you just put a little bit of sugar, a little bit of yeast, and an egg.
Okay.
And by the way, if you don't use egg and you want to use an egg wash, you could use aquafaba. It's the juice from the chickpea. It works the same. And basically, you add the whole thing together. It turns into a dough. You roll out the dough, probably more successfully than this one. It's really easy.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Miriam.
12 by 16, and you cut it in half, which is 6 inches, and twice again, and you roll them. And I show them on my website on how beautiful they end up looking. And I put them in the oven to proof a little bit.
These. Yeah.
A little bit with water on the bottom of the oven, and I proof for about 15, 20 minutes. And then after that, I put the oven on, and in a half an hour or 25 minutes, that's how it comes out.
How
and then
long?
You do frosting.
How long was this process of coming up with these alternatives to the flours, that we've used throughout history?
I spent the entire day yesterday just trying to get the cinnamon bun to really, really work with the mix, because everybody buys them at my place, and everyone's like, "What is going on? How do you make that?" And I'm like, you know what? I need to make it simple for you. So what I like doing is trying to make everything as simple as possible. And this is a similar recipe for a pie crust, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
exactly.
Everything is, you can do the same, but the difference is the flour. Right?
Yes.
So you're using gluten-free flour and gluten-free flour, and you're would make a bread, right?
Yeah.
But the bread is gluten-free. So
and you know what? That part of what I think frustrated a lot of people, and Sherry probably would agree with this, is that there were all those favorites. Before, you got the diagnosis, you had all these favorite baked goods, and then realized you can't eat them anymore, right? And then someone like you comes along and goes, "No, I am not going to accept this. We will be eating delicious things no matter what," right?
It's so important to feel normal, and it's so important to be able to get all these fancy things during the holidays. People come by and you want to have something ready, and these are so simple to do, and I need people back in the kitchen.
Not only that, but these, and I've taste tested so many of Miriam's things over the years, you no longer have to have the baked goods for everybody that, does not have a sensitivity or a celiac. You can just make them all gluten-free because they now finally taste fantastic across the board, right?
I'm telling you, nobody would know the difference. Here, it's so worked and so well done. And with the flours that we have available now, it just makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
And enjoyable.
Well, exactly. You obviously celebrating Hanukkah, right? For the holiday.
Christmas.
Exactly. But again, have you been able to do all those alternatives as well with all of, a lot of the things that you usually have around Hanukkah and celebrating?
I have on my website, I do all the latkes and the donuts
you
and
do
all
now,
the things.
Eh?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I want people to be able to experiment and to do all these fun things. And I know cinnamon buns is something you want to have at Christmas morning.
Yeah.
But I want them too.
You want them too? Exactly. Deliciouswithout.com to find out more information, other recipes as well, and visit Miriam's YouTube channel. She's got a great YouTube channel, DWG, Delicious Without Gluten. If you just look that up, you will find it. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, Miriam. We'll be back. We mentioned Sherry.